So maybe an avoidant attachment style just recently left your life out of the blue, even when things were seemingly going really well. Well, maybe you're finding yourself wondering, how would a secure person respond to being ghosted like this? What would a secure person even do? Because when you're ghosted, you can feel confused, lost, and really unsure about how you are supposed to even respond in this situation and what's healthy or unhealthy. And you may find yourself, if you don't have clear direction or support in figuring out what to do next, doing things that actually lower your self worth without meaning to, or even mirror an insecure behavior that causes the person who ghosted you to almost feel validated in their decision. So in today's video, we are going to go through 5 things a secure person does if they're ghosted so that you know how to handle the situation exceptionally well and also not take it so personally. If you're new to this channel, my name is Thais. I'm so excited that you're here. And I put daily content out here on YouTube all about attachment styles, relationships, dating, and how we can really heal and empower ourselves to become securely attached. And I have been in this field working with clients and in private practice for over a decade. So here's the first thing that I want you to understand that a secure person does differently. Number one, they recognize that ghosting is about the other person's inability to handle a situation in a mature and responsible way. And this is the reality. If somebody ghosts and they can't even have a conversation in an interaction to let you know, hey, I don't want to continue or I'm no longer interested, how do you think this person was going to show up through years of having to work through potential conflicts in a healthy way? Of having to have hard discussions about finances or children or where you're moving or living. I mean, if somebody can't even just send a text or have a conversation over the phone to say, I don't think this is working out and I don't want to continue, I can promise you they were not going to be there to have other more important and much harder conversations later on. And a secure person, they generally realize that. And this brings me to point number 2, which is that securely attached people, they are really good at vetting other individuals and keeping their standards in a relationship. Secure people are generally looking for somebody who can move through conflict, who can have hard conversations in healthy ways so that there can be progress when there's a challenging dynamic in a relationship. And so, really, when somebody ghosts the secure person, they just feel like, oh, okay, maybe this was unexpected. And sure, maybe it'll sting a little bit if they were interested in the person, but they're not taking it to heart. They're not being in a situation where they're like, oh my gosh, I lost the greatest person ever. No, they're like, wow, if this is how this person was going to respond in the situation, I'm going to keep my standards here because they weren't going to be able to have other important conversations long term if they couldn't even have the decency or compassion or courage to just have this conversation here. And they know that. And so, again, this brings me to point number 3. And these 3 points do go kind of hand in hand out of our 5. But this third point is that they don't take it personally. And this is something that insecure attachment styles really struggle with, because if you've ever heard of the concept of core wounds, it's something we talk a lot about on this channel. But I want you to imagine a situation right now, because this is the best analogy for it. Imagine that you are in a situation where you are in a forest and you are just walking along through the forest, everything's great, but suddenly you see a bear. And oh my goodness, run away from the bear. You run away, you're safe. Thank God, everything's okay. But the next day, for whatever reason, you have to go back through the forest where the bear was. What are you going to do the next day when you're going back through the forest? You're going to be like, where's the bear? Is it over here? Is it over there? You're going to project that fear of that threat reoccurring back out onto everything. Now, your mind and even nervous system, in a sense, are wired this way for your survival. But when we have previous experiences, especially around attachment trauma in childhood, what ends up happening is we maybe feel abandoned as a child, or maybe feel alone or trapped or helpless or betrayed or unworthy or unloved, or these are some of the common core wounds that people carry. And guess what happens? Just like with the bear in the woods, we project that out onto everything. We're like, oh my goodness, this person ghosted me because I'm unlovable, because I'm always going to be abandoned by people, because I'm always going to be betrayed. I can't trust anyone. We reinforce those old stories. But guess what? A secure person has less attachment wounding, which causes them to have less of those stories and narratives that they project onto the situation. And How do you feel when you think that you're unlovable and that's why it happened, or you're not worthy, or you weren't good enough? You feel really insecure. It just absolutely tanks your self esteem. And so we have to be aware that these narratives are running so that we can protect ourselves from them. And by the way, we're not born with these. They get conditioned into our mind through repeated firing and wiring of neural pathways, through repeated times we felt unloved and assumed that we were unloved, or we felt afraid of abandonment. We assumed that we were getting abandoned. And just through leveraging those same principles, we can actually rewire those ideas that we're carrying about ourselves, which is one of the single most healing things you will ever do if you're an insecure attachment style. Trust me. This is something I've done a lot of work on. I was previously a fearful avoidant, as many of you know, and it is absolutely life changing. I will put a course you can check out fully for free. By the way, we still have 2 more points to cover here, but just on this topic, I will put a course link down below fully for free. We actually have once a year, we do a 14-day free trial to our whole personal development school. So you can actually check out all of the courses in there. But there's a course called 21 Ways to Rewire Your Subconscious Mind. And that course gives you access to all these different tools if you want to get rid of these core wounds and painful ideas that may show up and actually be sabotaging your life in various ways. Point number 4 that securely attached individuals do differently when they are ghosted is they are not afraid to seek support and help. They'll rely on friends, they'll talk it out with somebody. You'll often see anxiously attached individuals do that well, but sometimes fearful avoidance or dismissive avoidance feel shamed. Often they're the ones more likely to do the ghosting, of course, but if they do feel ghosted, often they'll internalize those things. They won't share about them. And while an anxious attachment style will rely on friends and family for support if something like that happens, a secure person also relies on themselves. So they'll reassure themselves and they'll encourage themselves. They'll participate in healthy self care activities while also being able to rely on friends and family. They're both good at self soothing and soothing through others. Whereas you'll see with different attachment styles, that seems to be a one or the other kind of experience in a lot of different forms. And last but not least, and again, I'm hoping these are things that you can take away from this video and start applying to your own life so that if this ever does happen to you, you can completely handle it effectively. They will make sure that they accept the situation as it is, a securely attached person, but they will maintain their boundaries and self respect. In other words, if somebody gets ghosted and that person's secure and that person returns later on, what do you think the secure person does? They don't engage. They don't try to go back down that path. If anything, they may have a closure conversation. Hey, I didn't love how that ended. I appreciate you reaching back out. I'm no longer now interested in continuing. And they know if somebody shows them who they are, that that's probably how they're going to be. Securely attached individuals are very good at not dating people's potential. They date the reality in front of them. And in case you missed it, you can now reserve your spot and get more than a 50% early bird discount for our live relationship coach certification program. This 12-week program gives you the opportunity to build a new career, create your own thriving coaching practice, help your community, and secure your financial future full of abundance with a growing waitlist of clients. And the best part is that you get to spend a whole bunch of time with me as I teach you exclusive subconscious reprogramming tools and help you learn how to change somebody's attachment style from insecurely attached to securely attached so that you can truly help create transformation in people's lives and have a wait list of people waiting to work with you. We also have an entire business week about how to build funnels, systems, and to really build a thriving and busy practice. You can sign up using the link down below the video, and I can't wait to see you there. So, with that being said, hopefully these are key takeaways that you can apply to your own dating life. Again, check out that 14-day free trial to PDS. It includes webinars with me personally. 4 times a week, you can come in, ask questions. We have other facilitators leading webinars. There's so many events. There's access to courses about all different topics. You can definitely get through at least 1 or 2 courses within that 14 days. So take that as a free gift. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching and for stopping by. I hope you like, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. And I will see you in future videos.